Hello everyone, welcome back to Controller 1. My name is Josh, and as always I'm joined by Nick. We're from Only Single Player, and we're going to continue talking about some E3 news and rumors. This week we're going to be talking about Microsoft, Sony, and what's the other one we're talking about, Nick?
Ubisoft.
Alright, perfect. Alright, so what are we starting with?
Alright, well, since Microsoft's conference is first on Monday, and I have to be there very early for that, so I'm not looking forward to it. Well, I sort of am, but, I gotta go to the Bethesda conference the night before and then straight to that one like the very next morning, so I'm gonna be tired.
Lovely.
But I'll be excited. But yeah, so Microsoft has a lot of stuff already announced. In terms of exclusives, that I'm pretty sure I have all of them marked down, but if I probably don't, so go ahead and leave them in the comments if I miss something. But Crackdown is one of them, Halo Wars 2, ReCore, Sea of Thieves, Gears of War 4, and Scalebound. And we almost know next to nothing about most of these titles, aside from Scalebound and Gears of War 4.
Right, so they have a really packed conference.
Mm-hmm.
How long is their conference, roughly?
It's an hour and a half.
Hour and a half for that many games, and who knows if they're going to be, announcing anything else. There's usually surprises at these things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think one thing we really need to watch this year is Crackdown. I don't know if you watched the presentation last year, but basically it's the first game that's really going to be using Microsoft's cloud computing, and essentially the whole world is destructible when you play it online.
Oh well, that'll be interesting because that's
everything is destructible. Like you can take down skyscrapers.
Huh.
So going back to our very first discussion about the new consoles inbound,
mm-hmm.
I'm very curious to see because as we said before, Xbox Scorpio, the rumor behind it is 4 times as powerful. I have a feeling we might, if that thing is real and we see it at the conference, I bet you we see Crackdown utilizing that tech on that console.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially from what we've heard about Crackdown. I mean, it would have to have some serious tech behind it.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to run on Xbox One with the cloud, but I mean, we've seen some things with the cloud, but nothing on this scale yet.
Mm-hmm.
And just by the fact that they've really said next to nothing about the game, I think that's where we're going to see the game, is on that new console with a scaled down version on the old console. But
yeah, that would be my bet too.
Yeah, if it's all online computing, I bet you'll have the full destructibility on the Xbox One,
mm-hmm.
but in single player it's supposed to be toned down quite a bit. So I bet on the other console, single player is the same thing as the cloud, the online stuff.
Right, that would make sense.
But in terms of what's that?
When's the last time we even saw a Crackdown game?
Oh,
it's been a while.
The very first one came out at the start of the Xbox's life cycle.
Yep.
And I played the hell out of that one. And then Crackdown 2, I think, came out 2 or 3 years after that.
I mean,
it was 2000. I think it was 2009, because I think the first Crackdown came out in late 2006 or early 2007.
Yeah, it's been years. So
yeah.
I mean, just seeing the game itself will be interesting for me. When you put aside all of the interesting, mechanics they're
mm-hmm.
talking about putting behind it.
But yeah, in terms of the cloud, though, again, their cloud computing, a lot of people write it off because they haven't seen it yet. So it's like, well, it's probably fake. But I don't know. Crackdown, I think, will prove all those naysayers wrong. I mean, obviously, I'm still not totally sold on it, but I think Crackdown's going to use it, and I think Halo Wars 2 is also going to use it as a. I mean, it's the first RTS console game on the new consoles in a long time.
Right.
Or I guess not in a long time, but it'll be the first real next-gen, RTS game on consoles, so I can see, cloud computing using that one too. And then as far as that's a lot of this stuff's multiplayer, I guess, but as far as single-player stuff goes, haven't heard a lot about ReCore yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. The reveal trailer is pretty interesting.
So tell me a little bit about this ReCore game.
It's by I can never say his name, but Kenji Inafune. I don't know.
Oh, Keiji Inafune.
Yeah,
that's the one.
I butchered that one. I'm not super knowledgeable about the Japanese side of the game industry, but that one's supposed to be a single player adventure game where kind of like The Last Guardian on PS4, where you have like this partner that's with you the entire time kind of thing.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But other than that, they really haven't said much, if anything, about it. And then Gears of War 4, well, it's Gears of War 4. It's gonna look good. It's gonna play good. And then Scalebound, I've never been really all that excited about this one, just based on the footage I first showed for it. It didn't look that great just yet, but it's not supposed to come out till 2017 now, so I'm sure by the time they show it at E3, next week, it's gonna look pretty damn good.
Nice.
And then Sea of Thieves, I think, is Microsoft's most interesting new IP that they're working on right now, because that's from Rare. Yeah, it's supposed to be like an MMO pirate adventure kind of game.
This one has me really intrigued because I really like that genre of game, of that pirate, but it's really, really hard to do well. It either comes out horrible, or really good, like Black Flag or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, this one's in first person too, so that'll be a totally new thing too. But as far as leaks go for Microsoft, though, last year their entire conference pretty much got leaked. So haven't seen that this year, and that's probably a good thing because it's more to be excited about. But I don't know. They have a lot of stuff already announced. I expect we'll see most of that stuff shown off. But I'm sure Microsoft has some stuff up their sleeves that we have no idea about, though. And I'm secretly hoping for Rise Son of Rome 2 because I love that game. But you can hate on me all you want. It's cinematic, but I liked it.
I can't hate on it. I didn't play it enough to get a good enough opinion.
It was quick timey events, but I like flashy, gory stuff like that. It was cool, and plus I'm a history buff, and the story was actually very good. It was actually a very good story, so I was not disappointed with it in the slightest. But this is, as far as Microsoft goes, it's all up in the air. I mean, they have a lot of stuff to show off that they've already announced, but as far as what's to come, that's going to be the one to watch. But moving on to Ubisoft, so far all they've announced, all they got announced to show off this year right now is For Honor, Ghost Recon Wildlands, South Park: The Fractured Butthole, and then there's that Eagle Flight VR game they have too.
Eagle Flight VR.
Yeah, something like that. I forgot what it's called for sure, but it's it's some weird looking gimmicky VR game.
Those seem to be rather popular right now.
Yeah, they will be for a while. I mean, there's some big VR games in development, like Golem and Ace Combat 7, which I'm wondering when we'll see that. But
right. I mean, yeah, there's some cool VR stuff out there. So hey, maybe Eagle VR, whatever it is, will be cool.
But Ubisoft is known for their surprises, though.
That's true. That's true.
Well, the past few years they've announced a new IP at every show, so no idea. Obviously, they've got a surprise for us that they've kept top secret that we'll probably see. I just hope it's not another Division-style game. I hope they really blow us away with some cool single-player thing.
Yeah, that'd be refreshing, because I feel like there's been a lot of that style of game coming out, as of late. It'd be nice for a really well-made single-player, narrative-driven great game from one of these larger companies like Ubisoft,
Yep. Another game I forgot to say that was already announced they'll be showing there is Watch Dogs 2, but that's obvious. But I'm kind of wondering if we might see a new Splinter Cell this year.
I would really like that. I like, we haven't seen a good Splinter Cell game in quite some time, I feel. And
Did you play Blacklist?
You know what? I kind of I fell off the wagon a little bit because I didn't enjoy some of the previous ones, so I never got around to it.
Blacklist is amazing.
Is it? You know what?
Yeah, you need to play that one if you haven't played a Splinter Cell game you liked in a while. It plays a hell of a lot like Chaos Theory.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to swing around and play that one because I was a big fan of the first few.
Yeah, but There is no Assassin's Creed this year, so that's a big difference in Ubisoft's conference.
I'm kind of okay with that. They need to.
I'm definitely okay.
They need to pump the brakes on the Assassin's Creed. I mean, they're typically high quality games. They're typically fun. I mean, I played Syndicate a ton, and it was excellent in my opinion. But it's a franchise that they need to, slow down because their overarching story has significantly suffered for it, and it's just become lame.
The last Assassin's Creed I really liked was Assassin's Creed 3. Black Flag I liked as a game, but it wasn't a very good Assassin's Creed game in my opinion. Like the whole ship battles and everything, that was awesome. But as far as this, and everybody hates Assassin's Creed 3 for whatever reason. I love the American Revolution backdrop. I thought it was really cool, and I really enjoyed the story, but there's some gameplay issues with it, sure, but I don't know. And Connor wasn't that cool of a character after coming off of Ezio, but
well, yeah, I mean it's hard to really compare because Ezio was such a fleshed out character. I mean, he had how many games? 3 at least.
3, yeah.
And it's not like they haven't mentioned him more since then. So,
another thing we should be seeing at the since they showed off multiplayer last year, I assume we'll see For Honor's single player campaign this year because it does have one from what they told us. So hopefully we get a little glimpse of that and the multiplayer because the multiplayer looks cool as hell. And hopefully there's no downgrades on it because it looked pretty great last year and it was playable on the show floor.
Yeah, here's hoping.
But apparently Ghost Recon Wildlands already had a nice graphics drop. I didn't notice it really in the trailer, but
it's such a shame when they do stuff like that. I mean, it's understandable, but at times, but it's very misleading when you show one thing and then all of a sudden, a year or two later, it's like,
yeah, it's all part of the development process, but they just don't say that, they don't put anywhere on the trailers that this isn't representative of the final quality of the game, which is, you would think their PR department would be getting tired of people complaining, hey, the graphics on the game look so much better here, what happened?
Yeah.
And I was talking with somebody in the comments, last night and kind of arguing about it a little bit, but, it's Ubisoft really doesn't have an excuse when Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out and it looks just as good as how they revealed it.
Yeah.
Call of Duty comes out, looks just as good as what they revealed it. A lot of EA games look fine when they're revealed and then they come out and there's no big significant drops or anything. So I don't understand why Ubisoft gets away with it, but
yeah, and it's very strange that they do it because it's like you said, there's really no reason why they should be doing it.
Did you watch the video I posted on the site last night that somebody made? That kind of showed all the differences.
You know what? I haven't gotten around to it. I may have been out all night last night.
Well, the only game that had minimal differences was Rainbow Six Siege,
right? And
part of it was the lighting, but most of it was for gameplay purposes. So, like a game like that, I understand, but how they showed off the Division. Like you go back and watch that first trailer that they showed off for the Division. You go back and look at it now. It's like what?
Yeah, like the difference is just astounding, and
they develop these demos specifically for E3 to show you what they want the game to look like, how they expect it's going to turn out, and then the full game comes out and it looks gamey, like everything they reveal for the first time I take with a grain of salt. Like even For Honor, I'm sure it's going to look different this year, and I'm sure it's going to be downgraded.
Right.
I'm still going to play it because it looks fun as hell, but I'm not expecting it to look what they showed last year. And if it does, well then I'll eat crow.
And it's a shame that it's come to that point where people viewing the trailers have to go, oh well, it's not going to look like this in the end, because one of the more infamous cases is of course Watch Dogs, like when the trailers first announced the first game, it looked like revolutionary, and then I don't know how you felt when you got your hands on it finally, but like it was.
I thought the graphics were fine. They weren't.
Oh, they were.
They still looked better.
They were good for sure.
It just didn't. The thing that I noticed the most with the original Watch Dogs was when you go back and look at the E3 trailer and the car accident happens, and then all those people are like actually reacting to it and getting out of their car, making sure they're okay, and the characters actually reacting to their characters. And in the game, it's so static and nothing really happens. They run away from their cars screaming, and that's about it. And that's what I really noticed. I didn't, the graphics fine, whatever. It's not gonna. The game was still fun for me. I still liked, being a vigilante and all that. But
yeah, there was like
little details like that are some things I noticed more than like an overall graphics downgrade.
Yeah, like it was a downgrade in the sort of civilian AI.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm still excited to see the second one because I love the setting of the game. The gameplay was still fun. It was an interesting concept, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. So,
Sony. Okay, we got another big one.
Yeah. Sony's going to be interesting this year. Just follow the formula we're following here. Basically, they've announced Horizon Zero Dawn, Detroit Become Human, Dreams, The Last Guardian, and Gravity Rush 2. Last Guardian just got a bunch of previews by a lot of the major outlets.
Yep.
Sounding really good. Looks really good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because long developments, like, man, they're it's like a curse. Like, I'm a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus and Eco and all those kind of games. And I really, really, really want this to be good. And I'm just so afraid that its rocky development is going to tarnish it. But I'm still hopeful. But I'm holding my breath at this point.
Sure. Yeah, I really haven't followed development all that close. I've reported on it a few times, but I don't know. I saw the IGN preview and it looked pretty good to me. I like how the AI system for the monster thing. I forgot what they're calling it.
It's bad. I can't recall at the moment either.
Well, dog, whatever thing it is, the AI is pretty reactive to what the player does, and like it has to get emotionally attached to you in the game to follow you around and all that. Like when you start off, it won't be just doing everything you tell it to do right away. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive I want to see the most though is Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what that is, right?
I know the name.
I'm gonna have to slap you.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. You can do that over the internet now.
I just did.
Okay, I moved my head to the right. I hope that was the right direction.
No, I was actually trying to snap your neck backwards.
Okay, for next time.
Well, I don't think after that there will be a next time.
Yeah, no kidding.
But all right, fine. I will explain to
for
you
our audience.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Let's say for our
no,
audience.
I'm explaining to you because our audience probably knows what it is. Horizon Zero Dawn is the next game from Guerrilla Games. It's an open world, like criminal future-esque game. Basically, the world is gone. Robots have taken over the world. Humans are now the primitive creatures.
Okay, yeah, it's coming back to me now. Okay, keep going for me.
There's like big ass robotic dinosaurs you get to hunt and like slide underneath their bellies and shoot their hearts out.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure in the trailer the girl shot its testicles off, but I'm not sure for sure on that one.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah, I remember
you can shoot off.
Yep.
You can shoot off giant robot testicles off mechanical dinosaurs in Horizon Zero Dawn.
It's a key feature.
Yes. And then you can use those testicles for mechanical parts. But yes, the game looks very cool. Rumors in the past stated that the open world was going to be quite similar to the size of The Witcher 3. And the game just looks gorgeous.
See, like that's something like I would be excited to see because we have all of these open world games and they're very popular right now. And I know we've talked about this before, but it's all like very specific kind of genres that we typically see them in, right? Like
survival.
Like survival or like the sort of criminal shooters or like Far Cry or Grand Theft Auto or like. Sometimes we see fantasy like with The Witcher, but we almost never see like a sort of sci-fi, inspired, what's the genre? It's like a cyberpunk kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see a shift in the genre, and that's what's sort of gotten me excited about seeing this game, despite forgetting the name of it or thinking it was something else apparently.
Your next assignment is to go back and rewatch everything from E3 2015.
I'll probably do that. Yeah.
I think I did that for E3 2009 when Uncharted 2 was revealed. I think I rewatched the press conference probably like 2 or 3 times because I had to show my friends. So
you had to know everything about it.
I did know everything about it. But as far as Sony goes, there's also Detroit Become Human from Quantic Dream, so it's another cinematic choice-based game.
Okay.
Interested to see where that one goes. Hopefully, as much as I like Quantic Dreams games, I kind of hope they had more actual gameplay because some of their Beyond Two Souls could have benefited from actually having more gameplay involved.
Yeah.
But and then Media Molecule has Dreams, which I really know next to nothing about, just because it seems like a very complex game, and I haven't paid too much attention to it yet.
Yeah, so that'll be kind of one to.
But it's a very heavy creation game. So.
Right. So that'll be interesting to see what they can come up with and what they show at E3. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I haven't really kept up to date with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then lastly, it's a very underlooked exclusive is Gravity Rush 2. I have a copy of Gravity Rush on the PS4 right now, and I have not opened it yet. So I really, again, I'm very next to little about this game.
I've heard very good things about it. It's funny. It's the same thing for me. I have a copy sitting here, and I have yet to touch it. But I've heard it has a very interesting mechanic from what I hear with gravity shifting and it affecting how your movement works and how to complete levels and all this crazy stuff. But I think the first one went a little bit under the radar, and then
well, it was a Vita title before it was on PS4, so
right.
That would explain that.
Right. Well, exactly right. And now that it's on the PS4, I think more people are playing it and experiencing it. So I think the second one's going to get more attention, and I think this one's going to be more people are going to be watching it. It's going to get more. I can't think of any words today. What's wrong with me?
Ooh, another exclusive I just popped into my head. I just remembered seeing it at a PlayStation Experience last year was Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh.
Which I know nothing about the first one either. I'm not, like I said, I do not play a lot of JRPGs or any of that stuff, so I know very little about this too. Well, but I know it was announced, and I think that's all I need to know.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I mean the first one was cool. Just the team behind it. It's far different than most RPGs that come out. So it's nice to see more of that.
What's different about it?
Well, so how the game worked was it basically looked and it looked and the story was very much like a Studio Ghibli film. So it was very unique in that sense. It wasn't like it was still over the top as most JRPGs are, but it wasn't like your Final Fantasy type. It was, I don't know, it just had it's hard to explain, but it had a very unique feel to it, unique art style, and its storytelling was very, good. That's how you describe it. It was just a good narrative.
Huh. I'll have to check that out sometime then.
Sure.
The only JRPGs I've ever really played are Pokemon back when I was 10 years old. I think the last one I played was Emerald.
I used to play them a fair amount, but not so much nowadays. I don't have the time.
Right.
Because you got to commit.
Yeah. As far as surprises go for Sony, though, I think Sony's going to have the most surprises out of any conference. right now the biggest rumors are Dead Don't Ride from Sony Bend, which is supposed to be some type of kind of open world zombie apocalypse game. That there were some. It's supposed to be horror based too, according to Shinobi, who has provided us with lots of information in the past. So interested to see what that one turns out to be.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. I mean, the zombie thing is a little bit played out, but it's still kind of cool.
Well, dead could be anything too. So
that's true. That's true.
And then aside from that, the one that I'm really looking forward to is the new God of War game, which is pretty much all but confirmed at this point that it's going to be in the Norse setting, which is really awesome because last year one of our writers, I assigned him to an article speculating what a God of War Norse game would be like, and here we are a year later, and it's possibly about to get announced. So
that'd be really cool.
I'm super excited to see what this is,
because like God of War is such it's a fun game. You know, like this story it's simple. It's not anything groundbreaking. I mean, you punch things in the face and there's lots of gore, but that's kind of what makes it so much fun, is that it's straightforward. It's just a good time. And I'm a big fan of Norse mythology as well, so thumbs up.
Did you play all the previous God of Wars?
Oh yeah.
So what do you think, if by chance it happens, what do you think about this God of War going open world? Think it would work?
I don't know. I don't think it's needed, to be honest. I think
it'd be pretty freaking sweet to be like, walking down the coast, all of a sudden you see a giant ass boss walking towards you, like, oh, I'm gonna go kill that.
I guess. I don't know. Like, it'd be cool, but I mean, to me, it would feel like they would just be putting the God of War name onto it, because
right. They're pretty much, well, yeah, I guess they're doing that already as it is, though, if it goes Norse. But every mythology kind of has its own god, it's of war and whatever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I always hate it when they basically make a brand new game and it's essentially a new IP, but they slap a name onto it just to get that hype. But you know what? I'll reserve judgment. But I liked the sort of level progression in the previous games. I'd be fine with that. But hey, if they do it well and it's still fun and it still has the spirit of the previous God of War games, then I'm still all in.
Yeah, I mean that's just pure speculation. I assume it'll stay linear, but I just was curious what you would think of a open world type of God of War game.
It'd be neat. I'm sure it would be.
I mean, with how good Sony Santa Monica is at building,
worlds,
worlds, and the architecture I think it'd be a very, very cool world to explore on a more open setting.
Yeah, that's true. That studio is really good at making believable settings, that you can really get immersed in, or at least in my opinion. I mean, that's how I feel, but you can disagree, I guess.
And, well, the final, aside from the new console, the final big rumor that's circulating right now around Sony is Sucker Punch, and they're possibly developing a Spider-Man game exclusive for the PS4.
Oh, it better be good. I mean, if it's true, I mean, they haven't... When's the last good Spider-Man game?
Well, Sucker Punch has never developed one, so...
And Sucker Punch I like Sucker Punch.
Yeah, well, they definitely know how to make superhero games fun with, Infamous and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if there was anybody that was going to develop Spider-Man, you told me Sucker Punch was developing, then I'd put my faith that they know what they're doing.
Yeah. I agree with you. Sucker Punch is a great studio. They do know how to make those open world superhero games. I just feel like Spider-Man's cursed at this point.
Well, the last developer to really work on the series was Beanox, and they've never really made
that. Yeah,
they were cheap tie-in Activision games by Beanox, and so I'm sure they didn't give them a big budget to do anything with. And then obviously Beanox is developing Skylanders now, so that was always their calling anyway.
Yeah. What?
Well, I guess there's Beanox developing Skylanders still. I'm not sure if they got rid of it.
I'm not sure. Mind you, which Spider-Man game was it? There was 2 of them that dealt with like different dimensions and different times and stuff like that. What were the names of them? Like,
Shattered Dimensions, is that what it was called?
I think so. The first one was good.
Yeah, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions and Edge of Time.
Yeah, the first one was good. Or at least I enjoyed it. The second one was okay. But,
yeah, that was also Beanox, so...
Yeah, there you go.
But, I think Sucker Punch could do it very well.
I think so.
And I'm interested to see how the gaming community reacts to a game like that being exclusive. But
yeah, because
I can't really think of any other licensed property like that being exclusive to a console.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I can't recall any at the moment.
I mean, not that there's a lot of license. I mean, none of the Transformers games were exclusive. Yeah, I can't think of any that would be a first-party studio developing a licensed game like that. That'd be a interesting shift.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you'd like to see that is like closer to the realm of possibility, like from any of the developers we're talking about today?
Microsoft's got everything pretty much tied down for me in terms of what I want to see. They got Gears of War, Crackdown, and Halo Wars 2. Ubisoft, again, they have everything pretty much marked down that I'd want to see. I'm interested in what they do for a new IP, if they announce a new IP this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess another rumored thing for Microsoft is a possible Battletoads game. Never played the original, so I can't speak much on them. But I'm also really tired of 90s nostalgia pushing companies around. I want to see new things.
See, I'm very split on this matter, and it's interesting that you brought this up, because yes, nostalgia kind of, it's the rose-tinted glasses, and, is it actually good, or is it just the nostalgia talking? But if it's done well, it can be an enjoyable thing. I mean, the last time they made a Battletoads game, I don't think it was that good, but
well, I mean, like, even with Crash, like, every year there's threads all before E3. Is there a new Crash coming? Is there a new Crash coming? It's like, do you really? I mean, yeah, Yooka-Laylee is a very good-looking upcoming 3D platformer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Crash could go the same route, but it's like some things are just better left in the past, I think. Why not make a new character like that and hold what you have, the 90s stuff? But I mean, if you really want to play it, go get a PS1 or download an emulator on the computer and play it.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, I really enjoyed the original Crash games. I'd be interested in seeing what they could come up with, but at the same time, you don't want to tarnish that character, Mm-hmm. I mean, look what happened to Spyro.
They announced Skylanders and Spyro was in that, and my 90s nostalgia hit me in the ass, and I was like, yes. And then I got it. I was like, Spyro's not even important. He doesn't even do anything.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
I have this little action figure, and that's about the coolest thing about that game. Plus, I was like, 18 or 16 or 17 when that thing came out, so I was like, okay, my 90s nostalgia got the better of me.
Jesus.
Granted, I got it for a review copy. I didn't go out and buy it, so you can't laugh at me.
Okay, that's good. Man.
And that somehow ended up being my review of that ended up getting like 90,000 views over the next like 3 months during the Christmas season. So I was like,
wow,
well, at least it was worth something.
So, how long has Skylanders been out? I know that's a random question, but
oh god, I don't know now. I think the first entry in that series came out right around the time I started a Velocity Gamer, so that would have been Only SP's edging up on its 5th year, so 2011, I think.
Wow.
Was the first Skylanders.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize it'd been out that long.
Oh yeah, well, that thing's making Activision a nice chunk of change. Between that and the Call of Duty franchise, they are loaded.
Yeah, they have like a Scrooge McDuck bank. Like the just a vault. Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I mean, as far as, you know, a realm of possibility things, I honestly can't think of anything right now. I really don't. I just really don't want to see a whole lot more sequels to things. I want new things.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You know, see new IPs.
I think Crackdown for me is probably it's not my most anticipated game to play, but it's my most anticipated thing to see, just because of the possibility of what they're doing with that Azure stuff and CloudGine, and it could be very, very telling about the future games if they get that thing working and can get it to consumers in a workable state and promise on what they said with, you know, the completely destructible city. That's taken Red Faction Guerrilla to whole new levels. And that game came out all the way out in, 2009?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, man. I feel old now, Nick.
You're telling me. I just turned 21, and I'm like, are you sure I'm 21? I feel like I'm 28.
You're such a baby. You're such a baby. I'm 26.
Whatever, I can drink legally now.
And that's what matters.
Yeah. Why are you going to E3 to check out the games, right? No, I'm going there to drink.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, any other rumors or anything we need to touch upon?
You know what? I don't think so. I think we've got everything covered.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty thorough.
I think this year's been very tight in terms of rumors. So I think after last year and how much stuff got leaked, everybody's just like, "You keep your mouth shut, or we're sending you to freaking Alcatraz."
Yeah, no kidding.
Which I guess would be kind of cool, but you know, keep your mouth shut.
All right.
And Shinobi's also been more quiet this year too. I don't think people were happy with him last year. and Seaboat has been missing on NeoGAF. I don't know if you know who that is, but he pretty much posted a thread last year that just laid the entire Microsoft conference out. Like, here's what's going to be announced. Here's when it's going to be announced.
Oh, wow.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, I bet he got into a little bit of trouble for that one.
Or somebody paid him to keep his mouth shut, but
either way, it worked out for him.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up here. Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And look forward to all our coverage of E3 next week. It should be a good time. Is there anything you want to cover, Nick?
I think we're good to go. Probably have not sure if we're going to do another episode before I go to E3 or not, just because I'm going to be very nice and busy for the next 2 weeks. But when I get back, we'll definitely have a reactions cast to see what we got right and what we got wrong.
All right, sounds good. Until then.
Oh, and if you all didn't notice, I did get a better microphone, so I don't sound like shit anymore. Thanks, Blue.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
Take care.